and welcome back to Shakil's physics classes once again. Previously, I have uploaded a PDFs on Lagrangian. A few things you would have seen in the PDFs, like what are constraints, classification of constraints, holonomic, non-holonomic constraints, examples for that, rheonomic, celeronomic constraints, and what are generalized coordinates, transformation equations, etc. you would have seen. Today, in this class, I am going to start with principle of virtual work. Principle of virtual work. You need to listen carefully. Easy at the same time. It requires a little bit of attention in the class. Only then you will be able to understand what I am trying to tell you. Let us consider a system. For example, I take a system in the form of a block consisting of n particles. It has, let us say, n particles in it. Now if I say this system comprising of n particles is in equilibrium, in the state of rest, that's what I mean to say here. It means force acting on each and every particle of the system should be zero. If you have not understood my statement, you take this block, which I consider it as a system comprising of n particles. Let us suppose a force of 50 Newton is acting in this direction, and equal and opposite force of 50 Newton is acting in the direction which I have indicated, which means net force 50 Newton minus 50 Newton will be 0. What I have said here in the form of a diagram, I am telling you, putting in a statement like this. Suppose we consider a system comprising of n particles. All the particles of the system will be in equilibrium if the net force acting on each and every particle is 0. I suppose you have understood. If not, yet again I will repeat. I am considering this as a system. Let us suppose this system comprises of n particles. If this system of comprising of n particles is in equilibrium, it means that force, net force acting on each and every particle of this system must be 0. Only then this system will be in equilibrium. Therefore I say, in short I will say, that is force on any ith particle. Force on any ith particle is 0, which means if I say force on any ith particle, Fi must be 0. Force on any ith particle is 0. Now sir, in mathematics we know anything multiplied by 0 will definitely be 0 as well. Anything multiplied by 0 will give you a 0. Therefore I say, if we assume that a particle has a very small displacement very small displacement del Ri, then I can say del W is equal to Fi into del Ri. Sir, if you are not in a position to understand this, we go to our lower class. We know work done is force into displacement. Exactly the same I have written here. For my convenience, I will write this del W as virtual work. F suffix I is the force on the ith particle. Del Ri, I call it as virtual displacement. I call it as virtual displacement. What I am trying to tell you is, already I have told you, Fi is equal to 0. Anything multiplied by 0 will be 0. Which means, if the force acting on the ith particle is 0, even if there is an infinitesimal small displacement, which I call it as virtual displacement, then automatically the virtual work done will be 0. Is that okay to you? This I have written for ith particle. As my system comprises of n particles, then the sum over all the particles must be 0. All the particles must be 0. Is that okay to you? Now how do I do that? Summation of I Fi vector dot del Ri vector is equal to 0. I will call this as equation number 1. Summation of I Fi dot del Ri is equal to 0. Now Fi, which is the force, I will divide it into two parts. Fia plus small fi vector. You may ask me, what is this? Fia stands for Fia, let us call it as applied force. This is applied force. Fi, we call it as constraint force. Then this equation will take the form sigma I Fi A dot del Ri plus sigma I Fi dot del Ri is equal to 0. Fia is the applied force. Small fi is the forces of constraint. And assuming that the forces of constraint are there, if I substitute that in expression 1, my expression 1 becomes like this. This becomes expression number 2. Is that okay to you? Now, if I assume that I will rub this part, if I assuming that forces of constraint or absent, then sigma I Fi dot del Ri will be 0. Therefore I will write this as sigma I Fi A dot dot del Ri is equal to 0. This expression sigma I, where A stands for applied force, dot del Ri is equal to 0 is the equation for principle of virtual work. Now how do I define it? I will define it this way. A system of particles is in equilibrium only if the total virtual work of the applied forces is 0. I am defining it this way. A system of particles is in equilibrium only when the total virtual work of the applied forces is 0. This we call it as principle of virtual work. For your convenience, I will write that definition here. A system of particles is in equilibrium only if the total virtual work of the applied forces. A stands for applied force. Applied forces is 0. This is known as the principle of virtual work. This is known as principle of virtual work. In the nutshell, what we understand from this is, for a static system which comprises of n particles, for the system to be in equilibrium, force, which is the applied force, that's what I mean, because already I have told you the constraint forces are absent. The applied force acting on each and every particle must be 0. If that is 0, the total virtual work of the system will be 0. This we call it as principle of virtual work. If they ask you in 2 marks, what is principle of virtual work? You need to write the statement. A system of particles is in equilibrium only if the total virtual work of the applied forces is 0. This is known as principle of virtual work, and you have to write this equation in box. That will get you 2 marks, and if they ask you to derive, this is the entire derivation which I have given for you. Is that okay to you? If this is okay to you, I would like to move into the next topic for discussion. I will rub this off and go into the next topic for discussion, which is yet again a very, very important topic, not only for this undergraduate BSc, you will study it in detail in your PG as well. Okay? Let us try to understand what it is. The next topic for discussion is D'Alembert's principle. D'Alembert's principle. Just now we have seen, I will write it here for the sake of understanding, sigma I Fi A dot del Ri is equal to 0, which we call it as principle of virtual work. Now, why do we go into D'Alembert's principle? What does it state? What is the necessity? The principle of virtual work is applicable to a static system. I repeat, principle of virtual work is applicable to a static system and not applicable to a dynamic system. You cannot apply principle of virtual work to a dynamic system. A system is in motion. You cannot apply. You can apply only for a static system. In order to make this principle of virtual work applicable to both static and dynamic system, D'Alembert made certain modifications in this equation so that it fits in for both static and dynamic systems. Let us try to understand the statement first. Statement of D'Alembert's principle. For your sake, I am writing it. It states that a system of rigid body is in dynamic equilibrium. When the virtual work of the sum of applied force and constraint force is zero for any virtual displacement of the system. Let us try to understand this statement first. D'Alembert's principle states that a system of rigid body in dynamic equilibrium will be in dynamic equilibrium when the virtual work of the sum of applied force and the constraint force is zero for any virtual displacement. You can see, if you have understood the statement, in the previous principle of virtual work, we had assumed that if the forces of constraint are absent, we equated sigma I small fi dot del Ri equal to 0. We neglected that and we ended up with this expression. Now you have to take into account constraint force. Not only that, you have to prove that if the virtual work done by the applied force plus the virtual work done by the constraint force are both equal to 0, then it is applicable to a dynamic system as well. A dynamic system will be in equilibrium. So the statement once again, before I go into the derivation of that, it states that a system of rigid body is in dynamic equilibrium when the virtual work done by the applied force and the constraint force is 0 for any virtual displacement of the system. I suppose you have taken down this. I will now rub this off to proceed to derive an expression for the same. Okay? I will rub this off.